Talent can't cry. There's no crying in baseball. Or beauty. And on that day, it was just total chaos. And it started really well, and I was so excited with everything that I was seeing and all the energy and all the people that were involved. I was like, we're gonna do this. Be a good day. I've already done it 6 times in my head. Have full Aries energy, make quick decisions, be decisive. I hope Ben Bennett gives me a hug at the end of the day. We basically wanted to shoot photo, video, concepts for 6 products. And it was a lot. It was very ambitious. There were things coming up that were red flags, in terms of timing, and I just, I didn't manage the time well. Aaron, can I have 2 minutes? And, I was so zoned in and focused on what we were shooting with me. All of a sudden it's 4 p.m. and we're about to hit overtime in 2 hours, and we've shot 40% of what we need. And I know that I had disappointed Ben. I had let down the people that had worked so hard. At the end of the first shoot day, I was like, we all just spent 12 hours here, and if I don't figure out how we're gonna finish it, it was all for nothing. And we did it. We did it, ultimately. But I think that I had this idea in my head about how things are supposed to go. But that was the hardest part, because it's like, that's the thing I've been doing for the longest time. That's the thing I'm supposed to be the best at. That on top of having, knowing that you fucking up, and then having it be for your brand was so hard for me.
Without a doubt, Carrie's, a visionary and a creative force. I think, she really wanted to figure out a way to communicate this idea of make being forward.
As you listen to the sound of my voice, you can start to focus your attention inside. As your attention focuses inward, your unconscious mind begins to relax. Are you ready to meet your maker?
So Meet Your Maker was sort of a joke. It's a pun, obviously. And I think sometime last year at the office, someone had mentioned that I'm the maker. And then, we laughed about it, whatever, moved on. And I remember in December when Ben and I were sitting on a Sunday conceptualizing what this had to be. We had all these references that we would talk about, and they didn't necessarily relate until Ben was like, we have to lean into this maker thing. We have lab engineered ingredients, maker, lab, let's connect the two, let's pull in sci-fi, let's get really weird and conceptual. The labs that we are partnering with are very futuristic in terms of technology. They're forward, they're thinking about what's next. And also because of Lenny and our sort of thoughts about sustainability and what we're doing with biotech, we just kept coming back to this idea of look forward.
And I think she was really nervous to show the team once it came to fruition, nervous that not everyone would understand it.
I think that was the most emotional part for me, because I was like, here it is, it's gonna go out, and it's out of my control at this point. And at the same time, it's out of my control, but then I'm also synonymous with this brand. I'm responsible for what it looks like. And I was explaining to a friend, I feel like I'm about to step out on the internet naked.
We're making a sci-fi film, and Carrie's gonna have a snatched ponytail and a big reset button, and that's kind of all that I knew.
I was a little nervous because I had showed it to friends first, you know, and I think a lot of friends who are my age or work in my industry are like, this is very cool, you know, or they like sci-fi movies so they get the references. You know, and then I would show it to some people and they're kind of like, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh no. Like, is it too conceptual? Like, I don't want it to go over someone's head. But then I started to, you know, we would share it with press and the feedback was really positive. So that felt good and everyone was kind of like, wow, like, you know, they got the concept. You know, I got some kind of like Black Mirror references. Someone said Ridley Scott. They got goosebumps, you know, sci-fi fantasy, and I'm here for that. Like, I have all these voice memos from people just being like, you know, I'm screaming over you in this ponytail with no pants on. Like, who is this? And I'm like, yeah, yep, just pulling succulent gel cream out of an aloe leaf, no big deal. Is anyone tired of hearing me talk? Because I am.